There, and welcome back to this small home. Today I'm going to be putting a moss pole on this lovely, I believe it's a Monstera Peru. I could be wrong, but I believe that's what it is. Nothing else seems to match. I have taken some cuttings off of this lovely beauty here in order to propagate them, and in the process I lost any of the leaves that I had up there. So this poor thing, I'm assuming she wants a moss pole. So I made her a moss pole, and in my previous video I only made one moss pole because it was so difficult. And I will not be doing another one the exact same way. I will be doing it a little bit differently, but I won't film any of that. Anyway, I made one. I was considering whether to put it on one of my other plants, but this one I feel needs the moss pole the most right now. Currently, she is the only one of my the only one of my climbing plants that actually even has a stake. So today she will be getting a moss pole, and gonna upsize just a smidge, because you never want to upsize too much, because otherwise you run the risk of killing your plant because there's too much space for the roots. And isn't that pretty? It's on clearance at Walmart, and I already camera in the way. I already have this one. Whoop. Right, I already had this one, and I was like, I need another one, and it was on clearance. It was $2. I was like, I'm getting it. So it is perfect. This little Dollarama pot fits great. Doesn't have a lip that I can like. Whoop. I'm sure it'll be fine. Anyway, that's what we're gonna do today. So we got holes in the bottom. I don't think it'll be that bad. It's not usually that bad. I think there, just so I don't get it all over my counter. And in my little bucket here, I've just got a mix of soil and sphagnum moss and orchid bark. And that's my quote-unquote chunky aeroid mix. I'll put some in the bottom there. And I've seen some people put moss all the way down to the bottom of their pole, and then I've also seen somebody else put some soil in the bottom of their moss pole, just right up until, you know, where it's going to hit the container, the pot. So that's what I'm going to do today, because I feel like that is a smart idea. And my moss pole had actually dried out just a little bit because it's been a few days since I made it. Unfortunately, my husband and I had other things to do. I couldn't really focus on plants, so couldn't make this video. And I had already stated that this would be the next video, and I already have another 1 or 2 videos waiting to upload, so I had to make this video. Anyway, my wandering point is that my moss pole dried out in the time that I was waiting to film this video. So so this is my very first moss pole making, using, and my first plant to ever have one. I never even knew they existed or that they were potentially a good idea, even though, you know, apparently I was raised by a woman who had one, has one. Well, she obviously hasn't used it because I didn't know they existed. Anyway, she figures that it's been so long now, all of the moss is potentially desiccated and it needs to, I think that's the right word, needs to be refreshed. She's probably right. And I was thinking, well, I could probably make her one, or like refresh her moss, but at the same time I have like not very much moss. not anymore. Been using it for years. Anyway, so that's what we're looking at here. I probably have too big of a moss pole for this pot, and I don't really care. This poor thing is so... You know what? I should be trying to get this into... Woo! Here. Here. Ooh, I know. There we go. I'm sorry if this is a little out of frame. This is what I love about... Ooh, oh, yes. This is what I love about plastic nursery pots, is that to get the plant out, you just squeeze it. If you're potting up... Ooh, maybe I shouldn't use this. If you're potting up directly into clay pots, when you go to repot your plant, you can't squeeze the pot in order to get the plant out of the pot. You just, you know, clay isn't squeezable. So that's one reason I don't like potting up directly in a clay pot or an otherwise solid pot. That being said, I do have plants directly in some solid pots. For example, I have 3. Let me see if I can do this without messing up how I have my stand. I have, ooh, maybe not. Ooh, right there. That one's clay, and that one's ceramic. All right, and that is Kalanchoe, or as I've heard some people call it, Kalanchoe. I like Kalanchoe. And a spider plant with something else in there in the front, just trailing over. I'll show you later. And my Hoya carnosa. Anyway, returning to the subject at hand. Ooh, you see the blue of the stand. Let's get that out of there. Here we go. I think that should be good. Yeah. So like I do have plants potted up directly into solid... What is that? Oh, that... Okay. I'm gonna try and get rid of that. That's probably what's rotting. I forgot what I was saying. And I got soil all over my counter. Oh well. So if your previous soil is good, particularly if you particularly if you are the one who oh, I think my son just woke up. Yep. Who... What on earth? Oh, what? Dude, what is that? I think I gotta go save my son. Look, it's like... Oh, dude. That's... I've never seen that before, not in a plant. That's like those sticky, stretchy jelly things that, you know, we give to our kids sometimes and they fling up onto the ceiling. Full disclosure, I was one of those kids. Mine never stuck and it came back down to my hand, and that's when I realized that maybe I shouldn't fling it up onto the ceiling. My classmates, not so smart. 20-some years later, it's still on the... Two of them are still on the ceiling of the gym. Anyway, I think I gotta go save my son before he gets himself into trouble. He just woke up. Alright, be right back. Alright, let's see how long it takes for my son to need me again. He is changed, fed, changed again. We had a poop explosion that erupted out of the back of his diaper literally seconds after he pooped. So that was fun, to say the least. You know what? I just realized that if I'm putting the moss pole in here, I can't use this tiny pot. It has no room. Okay, I guess I gotta look for a bigger pot. Hold on. Alright, I have decided to go with this combination, I don't know, concrete pot and orchid pot that are significantly larger. Yes. Hopefully that's not too much room. And as you might be able to tell, my son has decided he needs me again. So, I'll be right back. Alright. He's finally asleep again. I'll just clean this up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so washed both of these pots to, you know, try and not make my plant sick. I guess I should... I don't know where I'm going here. Let's go there. I feel like the holes are too big. I feel like the holes are too big. Hold on. Gotta put some moss in there. Okay, so my trick, or at least the trick that I've been utilizing lately to keep soil from falling through all the drainage holes, is to put some moss at the bottom. And this, in my mind anyway, serves kind of a double function, because it not only stops the soil from falling through the bottom, but it also provides a little bit of a wick for water. So instead of just having water sitting at the bottom of the decorative pot and like just sitting there waiting for the roots to suck up the water, which honestly I don't think that's exactly how it happens. I'm pretty sure that the soil itself sucks up water and then the roots get to it, but anyway, I just feel, I haven't, you know, proved this or anything, but I have my suspicions that the layer of moss in the bottom underneath the soil just gives a better wick. I don't know. I've only been repotting my plants for, well, this way anyway, for the last, oh my goodness, year. I have been so out of touch with the planting world and all the rest of it, just for the simple reason that, you know, I lost the majority of my plants to, that's not tall enough. I lost the majority of my plants to a previous move, and then the cat that I brought home for my mom. And so I've just been like, I've had a few plants, but not very many, and my collection just kind of vanished over the years. So I've just been very slowly regaining plants. Yes, this moss pole is not big enough at all. Look at that. She's already too tall. Ooh. Maybe if I like prop it up a little bit. I don't want to damage the roots. I'll just scoot that up, and oh, but it's still going to be too tall because the you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm not even going to worry about it. I have another Monstera Deliciosa, that is literally putting out leaves down on the part of the vine that currently has no leaves, or like that it grew without leaves. It's now putting out leaves. So I guess I'm not that worried. Maybe this one will do it too. Probably not. We can always hope. What is that? Is that a root? I think that's a root. I'm putting this on the wrong way. Oh, yes. Look, if I can get my camera to focus. I totally forgot about this. Look at that. If it'll focus. Hopefully you can see it anyway. That little spot right there, I believe, is a new leaf coming up. I do. I believe it is. Sure. That looks good, I guess. Whoop. There we go. I don't know. I have my hopes. I have my hopes and my dreams. Anyway, what I was saying is there's a lot about plants that I thought I knew, and that I am discovering that I didn't know. I'm also discovering that a lot of my existing plant knowledge was based on outdoor plants for, you know, Canada. Because I worked in Walmart's garden center for 3 summers in a row, and I learned a lot. And then I get back into houseplants now that I, you know, have my own home with my husband and my baby, instead of a home that I shared with my mom, which I love my mom. I don't regret sharing a home with her at all. It benefited both of us, right? But the space is hers, and, you know, I needed my own space. So now that I have that, I'm getting back into my houseplants, and I think I'm driving my husband just a little bit up the wall, because I'm like obsessing over I'm obsessing over my houseplants. And he's like, we can't afford this. And I'm like, but I'm buying them cheap. And don't ask me what I'm doing because I really don't know. I'm just like, I do actually have like landscaping staples. I just don't want to go get them. I also have that green plant Velcro, but again, I just don't want to go get it. So this is what we're doing. Down into the little holes that I made, I'm just gonna shove the twist tie. I maybe could have packed the pole like with more dense sphagnum moss, but I really am running a little bit low on my sphagnum moss. I picked it up years ago for my orchids, and I've used it, and I'm trying to like reuse as much as I can, but at some point you have to dig into the bale that you already have, and I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna have to go get my staples, but not right now. I'm just gonna fill this up a little bit more. Whoop. Don't break it. And I hope today's music was relaxing for you. I've been trying to find music that's, you know, not copyrighted, and but I also haven't put a whole lot of research into that, so I will link where I got this music from, because it is actually an existing YouTube video. So I will link in the description box below where I found it, so that you can go and give that channel their appreciation, or your appreciation for their content. And yeah, that's my moss pole and my plant, and hopefully she does well, and maybe some of those little growth points there will put out some new vines or new leaves, one or the other, for us. And hopefully I won't have to completely redo this in the next month or two. Although maybe in the next month or two I will redo the moss pole, and I'll do it properly, and I'll do it nice and tall. Anyway, there we are. Leave a comment down below if you noticed the magic that was off to the side there. It truly was. It was magical. I'm not going to tell you what it was, because it was magical. There we go. Anyway, yeah. Monstera Peru, I do believe it is a climbing vine. It is not a bush. That's why I do believe it is Monstera Peru. Yeah. I'll try and get some more plants onto moss poles in the next little while. Stay tuned. And have a lovely day. Thanks for watching this small home. Bye.